So in order for our payment card text field to notify us if it has received all the information it requires to process the card, we are going to set the delegate of our payment card text field. And this we're going to do in our view did load. So I'm going to say payment card text field dot delegate is equals to self. So our view wants to listen whatever our payment card text field has to say. And now it complains because we haven't implemented this function. So we can say extension payment, and this is card info view controller, and this is going to be a delegate of STP payment card text field delegate. And once we confirm that we are conforming to this protocol, it will ask us to implement the required functions. Since there are no required functions, you see we are not getting any errors, but there are optional functions, which is what we want to use. So we want to be notified when our text field changes. So we say func payment card text field did change, and you see, just hit enter, and every time it changes we want to check our done button status. So say done button outlet is enabled is equals to our text field. We are receiving it from here, which is type of STP payment card text field dot is valid. So what Stripe has done is when they provide this text field, they have an option if it's valid. So if the information we input here is valid, then our done button will be automatically enabled. And by default, we want it disabled. So we can go to our main storyboard, click on our done button, and just go here and set it to be disabled. Let's see if state enabled, and we just click on the disabled. So if I run now, we should start with our done button as disabled, and it should be automatically enabled when we put the card information, which is of course valid. So let's go to our main basket, go to our payment card options. Now you can see it's disabled. I said 4242, and now it becomes automatically enabled. So if I delete something from CVC, it becomes automatically disabled. So and now it's enabled. Okay, so this is working. We can jump back to our the card info view controller, and the next thing we're going to do is once our user provides the information, we want information about our card, of course. What we want to do is to process this payment. So we want to process the card. So let's write a function here, say private func process card. And this function will be called every time our user clicks on the done button. So let's say remove this from here, and we want to say process the card when we click on the done button. And whenever we process the card, we are going to create an instance of Stripe card, and then we want to provide the information our user just inputted, which is our card number, expiry date, and CVC. So let's create this card instance. So we say let card params is equals to STP card params. So these is our card parameters. And then we say card params dot number, and we want to provide the number of our card. And luckily, when we access this cool text field that Stripe is providing, it knows the information we input. It can understand which one is the card number, which one is expiry month, expiry year, and which one is CVC. So we can access our payment card text field, and we just can grab the card number from it. Then I can say card params dot expiry month is equals, and again we access our payment card text field and just say expiry month, then card params expiry, and then we access the year is equals to payment card text field expiry year, and last is the CVC, so we say card params.cvc is equals to payment card text field.cvc. And once we have our instance of STP card params with all the information provided to it, we can use this in order to process our card and receive this token that we need in order to process the payment on the card. So we say STP, and then we're going to access the API client.shared instance, and I'm going to create a token. So we say create a token with, and then we have different options here. What we want to do is to create a token with a card, because we just create a card here. So the card is going to be our card params here, and completion handler, just hit enter on it. So we will receive two things: an STP token, which is an optional if everything goes good, and an error, which is optional if something goes bad. So we say token is the variable that we receive for token, and error is the variable for error. Of course, we want to check if there was any error. So we say error. If it's equals to nil, it means everything went smoothly and we have our token. Otherwise, we want to print our error. So we say print, say error processing card token, and we can pass here our error localized description. And if everything went good, what I want to do for now is to say print and say the token is, and let's pass our token. I can unwrap this. So let's run and see if this is going to work. Okay, I'm providing my card number. Click done. Let's see what's happening here. It says the token is, and we're getting a number, which is our token number. It means that everything went correctly and our card was registered with our Stripe and it was processed. So this is good thing. Now we have our token, but in order to process the payment, what we want to do is to pass this token. We are going to dismiss our view as soon as we get the token. We want to pass the information here to our basket, and then use this to charge the user amount that we have in our basket. So we need a way to take a token and send it back to our basket view, because this is presented here, and once we dismiss, we are going back to our basket view. And to do this, we are going to use delegate. So we are going to create a delegate of our card info view controller, and whoever is listening as a delegate of our card info view controller will be notified that we just finished and we have received the token, and we will pass our token to that view, and then this view will decide what to do with this token. And in our case, this is going to be our basket view, and we're going to use the token to charge the card for the specific amount.